an excellent book that would actually sort of outline a blueprint for how to actually achieve this economic independence is in Amos Wilson's Blueprint for Black Power, and I've sort of borrowed from that to sort of gain perspective on how we can actually do this. So I'm going to continue this portion on religion and economy. While I was in Africa, every morning I heard the call to prayer around 5 a.m. The Arabs in Uganda, though they do not outnumber the Africans, have made their own Islamic world right there in our homeland. Not to say that this is wrong, but while they are there, they do not support black-owned enterprises, but it is us, who are the black Muslims, who flock to theirs. And we buy meat from their markets and we go to their mosques. There is a certain dress code that they maintain. Therefore, those tailors and manufacturers provide and profit from that market. There is a specific diet that they eat. So the producers of that food provide and profit from the markets, etc. For African American and Muslims, I do applaud this type of same behavior. Though it is on a much smaller scale, it is a movement in the right direction. African American Christians, who make up the majority monetarily and demographically, need to follow suit. As it was mentioned above in the quote by Kanye West, we love their wealth and hate ourselves. I pray that soon all of the money we spend will soon be redirected to that black market so that we too may return to our status as a superpower in the world. We know how much money we spend and generate, and as a result, not much needs to be said on the subject other than to organize and prioritize it. An economic plan will be provided, and the steps we can take to construct the biggest black monetary restructuring since Marcus Garvey will be discussed later. I will now use another quote from Dr. King that will answer the question, what do you think he would do? As the speech entitled, there was a speech he wrote entitled, A Realistic Look at the Question of Progress in the Areas of Race Relations. And again, I'll go ahead and quote Dr. King here. Oh, I like to think about the fact that we've come a long, long way in economic development, but we still have a long, long way to go. The poverty of the Negro is still appalling. Yet, in spite of all of our growth, we must face the fact that 43% of Negro families of America still make less than $2,000 a year. Compare that with the fact that 17% of white families make less than $2,000 a year. 21% of Negro families still make less than $1,000 a year. Compare that with the fact that just 7% of white families make less than $1,000 a year. 88% of Negro families of America make less than $5,000 a year. Compare that with the fact that 60% of white families make less than $5,000 a year. To put it another way, just 12% of the Negro families in America make more than $5,000 or more a year, while 40% of white families make $5,000 or more a year. We've come a long, long way, but we still have a long, long way to go in economic equality. I would like to say to you, my friends, in this period, we must continue to go down in our pockets and give big money for the cause of freedom. We have a long, long way to go, and we are going to have to spend some money to get there. Integration is not some lavish dish that the white man will pass out on a silver platter while the Negro merely furnishes their appetite. If we're going to get it, we're going to have to work for it, and we're going to have to give our money for it. So let us give. Let us not waste our money on frivolities. This is not the time to give big money for this is now the time to give big money for the cause of freedom. And we can't say that we don't have it any longer. We have it for so many other things that we want. We have the biggest cars that this world has ever let loose in history. I'm always appalled when I see how much whiskey and beer Negroes are drinking, and I think it would be an indictment on the integrity of practical wisdom of the Negro if historians look back and have to record that at the height of the 20th century, Negroes spent more on frivolities than he did on the internal values of freedom and the cause of justice. It concerns me deeply. So again, that was a quote from Dr. King. So let's continue. Now, it concerns me deeply that the same report can be given in 2010 that was given in the 1960s. This is not a black or radical or revolutionary speaking. He was a spiritual leader that made it possible for you to have that good job. What excuses do you have at this point not to contribute? And again, what would Dr. King say? And I'll quote him again. I thought about Dark Africa and how the people there, if they make $100 a year, that they were living very well. 2 shillings a day. 1 shilling is 14 cents. 2 shillings, 28 cents, and that was a good wage. That's because of the domination of the British Empire. And we, in these modern days, have been fooled by the same system now as it was then. We think that we're living well when in fact, like India, he said most of that money goes to taxes, or in our case, bills. We should be the companies to whom we indebt ourselves. I have talked with many of my privileged African friends who are too greedy to see the strength in the economic unity of the black upper and middle class, and is undermining its economic power and growth of the children by not devoting and contributing to the cause of the economic empowerment. It, like integration, will take time and patience and hard work, but becoming a superpower is well within our capability and well worth the toil. Imagine a black Walmart or mega company who could employ all skill sets and make far more money than waiting hand and foot serving someone else. This was part of Dr. King's dream as well. Now we have even more money and more technical skills, but we would rather still be that statistical Negro who makes 10% less than the white man or woman with the same position than devote our skills and patronage to our own enterprises. Remove the black dollar from America and it's no longer a superpower. Redirect it into our hands and we become one. Our skills, natural talent, and spiritual drive will support us now as it did then. So let us use them and water the seeds of the future. Stop playing around with our well-being and get serious. I will let Dr. King close by saying this. My mind went back to Buckingham Palace, and I saw that this was the symbol of a dying system. There was a day when that the queens and kings of England could boast that the sun would never set on the British Empire. Well, it's come time for us to forge our own cultural economic system. If this is a dying system, then if we stick with this system, then we will obviously die with the system.